This is Gilliam Law's Immigrant News Network podcast. We last left off with DACA. We're going to jump right into it, folks. Okay, so November 18th, there was a hearing held where both sides were given time to brief the issues regarding DACA relief availability. So, what does that mean? It means that on December 1st, the briefing for DACA is scheduled to conclude. And so that way we will have a formal decision, hopefully by a judge, as to whether or not these initial requests, as we've been predicting, will be accepted. That means all new applicants, brand new applicants for DACA should be accepted, will be accepted. We will keep you posted. Stay posted. Okay. We are really looking and hoping for President-elect Biden to make some sweeping changes in immigration policy, especially with respect to DACA, the Remain in Mexico policy for asylum seekers. Currently, this administration is looking to deny work authorization, work permits to people released from ICE. Under what context, do you ask? Well, November 17th, the Trump administration made plans to start denying work permits to people that were released from ICE. Although ordered removed, there's a lot of people that are released from ICE, and once again, they've been ordered removed, but they cannot or should not be deported. And so what happens, ICE issues an order of supervision for people to go back into society, and it only makes sense that they should be able to work to support themselves and contribute to society. So now the Trump administration wants to have some extremely narrow categories on some proposed rules so that basically people that are out here in the world that should not be deported back to their home country, now that most of these folks will have a very hard, challenging time getting a work authorization. We'll keep you posted. Ask questions if you want to know whether it applies to you. Another change that this administration is proposing, it seems like Trump is doing what he can do on his way out, right? Here he is now increasing the difficulty level on the United States citizenship test. So now the exam went from 100 to 128 possible questions on the exam. Prior, an applicant needed to get 6 out of 10 questions correct in order to pass the exam. Now they bumped it up to 12 questions out of 20 correct in order to pass the exam. Supposedly, the administration USCIS's goal here is to ensure the applicants learn more about civics and history. Spare me. I'm sure that Biden, well, we'll hope to see that Biden would reverse these changes. All these changes are going to do for people out here like me is to increase our processing times on naturalization cases, thereby reducing the amount of folks that can naturalize within any reasonable amount of time. Another word to the street is that ICE is now reincarcerating people that were previously released from detention due to the COVID-19 pandemic. So again, you know who you are. Remain vigilant. Remain vigilant. Don't get caught unsuspecting, as we like to say. Now, we want to take some time to toss it up to our criminal defense counsel. We like to take a moment to put you in touch with criminal defense counsel should you ever have the occasion to need it. Call Fred. Call Fred Acosta. His practice is robust and he's a fighter. He'll take your case to trial if ever it need be. And you can contact Acosta at his practice, 708-788-9900. And folks, if you haven't figured this out yet, the reason why we always toss it up to strong criminal defense counsel is because this is right here a blanket reminder. Always review any criminal plea bargains with your immigration lawyers before accepting any plea. This is because many a time, more times than not, once you get your immigration counsel involved, talking with your criminal defense lawyer, we have avoided and completely drafted many plea bargains that would allow folks to keep their green cards intact, keep their DACA intact, or at least, in the very least, avoid straight deportation. So keep this in mind. Always keep your criminal defense attorney in close contact with your immigration attorney. We want to take a minute to toss it up to Saul Jr. and Wavy Davy. They're both here in the studio. That is, in fact, my production and social media marketing team, my 15 and 17-year-old. Toss it up to Saul, David, and we're happy they're here with us. Um, Speaking of family, Gilliam Law's mission is to utilize these immigration laws in order to keep your family together or otherwise bring your family together. Keep that in mind whenever you're searching for your immigration attorney. You want someone who's passionate to keep your family together. In fact, why look further? Just call Saul. In other current case news, a lot of people are asking nowadays, rightfully so, what is the processing times on these I-130 spouse petitions? So if you take a look right now, what we're experiencing with the pandemic is approximately a 7 to 15 month processing time. So that means if you filed an I-130 for your spouse, 7 to 15 months before you'll receive an approval notice. Closer to 7 months if you're a United States citizen, closer to the 15-month side if you are a permanent resident applying for your spouse. So this week we did pick up a couple of detained cases. We got a client who's detained with ICE, born in Nigeria, hoping to get him out on bond as quickly as possible. Another client, born in Mexico, detained by ICE. Both my clients seem to be located in Clay County, Indiana. We're hoping to get them in front of a judge and issue a bond as quickly as possible. We picked up an asylum case this week from a client born in Tunisia, Africa. We'll be looking to defend her rights so that she can stay here, hopefully under a protected class. Um, so people that are fearful return home to their country, you should definitely start talking to your lawyer about the possibility of you remaining here under asylum claim. We'll be talking more about that as well. And this is the time where we would like for you to consider liking, sharing our posts, because what we're going to do is inform you, our listeners, and our listening audience on how to win some cool prizes, on how to stay informed and be rewarded for your diligence. So that's going to wrap it up for us. We want to thank you for listening, and we appreciate what you're doing out here with us and allowing us to grow this practice here at Gilliam Law. Allow us to keep families together. Allow us to keep the authorities in check and hold people accountable. Tell truth to power. All these good things come when we stay informed, when we support one another, when we look out for one another. Great things happen. So until then, we want you to stay blessed, stay strong, stay informed. Until next time, thank you.